Lincoln faced Althoff Catholic from Belleville in the third-place game of the 2024 Lincoln-Eaton round-robin tournament. The Railers came into the game 2-1 on the year. They opened the season with a loss to Champaign Centennial thanks to a sluggish offense, but Lincoln rebounded to beat Belleville West and Danville. Which team would show up on Saturday? Well, early on, Lincoln got on the board first when Carson Comnick hit a layup to give Lincoln a 2-0 advantage, but Althoff reeled off the next 12 consecutive points to take a double-digit lead. Railer Drew Smith hit a field goal to make the score 12-4 after one quarter. Then the Railer offense woke up. Lincoln got 9 consecutive points to open the second quarter and take a 1-point lead on a three-pointer by Carson Comnick, then another by Brady Miller, and yet another by Comnick. The Crusaders and Lincoln scored back and forth in the remainder of the quarter before Bryden Grismala, you may hear that name a bit later, got the last points of the period when he hit a three-pointer to put Althoff up 23-20 at the half. The Railers outscored Althoff 16-4 in the first 6 minutes of the second half, getting points from Gabe Smith, Drew Hayes, and Comnick. Lincoln built a 9-point advantage at 36-27, but the Crusaders added 8 points in the final 2 minutes of the quarter, getting points from Grismala, Zach Winkler, and Jeremiah Conway. Althoff also held Lincoln scoreless the remainder of the quarter to make the score 36-35 entering the final period. This one went back and forth with 3 lead changes on the first 3 scores in the quarter. With Althoff leading 41-39, Lincoln outscored the Crusaders 12-4 over the next 5 minutes to build a 51-45 lead. But Althoff would not give up. With 25 seconds remaining, Grismala was fouled while hitting a three-pointer for Althoff. The 5'10" senior made the ensuing free throw to make the score 51-49. Brody Tungate hit a free throw to extend Lincoln's lead to 52-49. Althoff advanced the ball to midcourt and called a timeout with 15 seconds remaining. On the next play, Railer Drew Hayes deflected a pass out of bounds by Althoff to give the Crusaders the ball in the corner with 11 seconds remaining. Following a timeout by each team, Althoff inbounded the ball. Here's WLCN's Scott Kirby and Josh Comnick with the play-by-play.
So here we go. Smith to inbound for Althoff. Kick it out to Conway. Gives it to Grismala. Grismala guarded there by Tungate over to Smith. Smith with 4 seconds. Grismala nowhere to go. Good defense. Grismala is going to fire up a 3 and get it at the buzzer to tie it up.
So with the score tied 52-52, the teams go into overtime. 15 seconds into the 4-minute overtime period, Grismala drives in and hits a mid-range jumper that gives Althoff a 54-52 lead. But for the Railers, Carson Comnick hits one of 2 free throws after being fouled on the following possession. That pulls Lincoln to within 1 point. Winkler hits a jumper in the lane for the Crusaders to give them a 56-53 lead, but those would be Althoff's final points of the game. Lincoln scored the last 6 points of the contest with 4 from Drew Hayes, 2 from Comnick, and the Railers win 59-56 to capture 3rd place in the Lincoln-Eaton round-robin tournament.
We should have never, ever been in the situation we were in if we understand what we got to do to win. And, that's what we got to work for. And, as coaches, we got to try, we talk about those things. But our guys, they stayed tough. They could have folded when they hit the 3 at the end to tie the game. The guy hit probably about a 30-footer. If we learn to clean up the mistakes that we're making, it makes us a pretty good team.
The win moves Lincoln's record to 3-1. Althoff finished in 4th place with a 2-2 mark. In the championship game of the tournament, Mount Zion outscored Champaign Centennial 45-18 in the middle 2 quarters. Mount Zion wins the championship 67-42. That's the 2nd year in a row Mount Zion defeated Centennial in the championship of the tournament. 3 Railers were named to the all-tournament team, as Drew Hayes, Carson Comnick, and Gabe Smith were all selected. Other members of the team included Sherrod Clark of Centennial, Sam Driscoll of Mount Zion, Cornelius Griffin of Cahokia, Bryden Grismala of Althoff Catholic, Nick Hankins Jr. of Belleville West, Lincoln Coaster of Mount Zion, and Elijah Wade of Springfield. Lincoln's next game is on Saturday, December 7th at 7:30 against Sacred Heart Griffin at the BOS Center in Springfield. The game is part of the 2024 Capital City Showcase at the BOS Center, featuring 8 games throughout the day, including all Central 8 state varsity teams. Lincoln plays in the final game. The first game features Springfield Cavalry against Williamsville at 9:30 a.m.